Welcome to Biomass Magazine's top headlines from the past week. I'm your host, Jacob Noterman. Before we get started, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Iowa Economic Development Authority. Iowa is the best place for establishing biochemical production facilities for three reasons. The first is that the U.S. Department of Agriculture said Iowa's renewable chemical production tax credit is the strongest incentive for the biochemical industry. The second is that Iowa is home to more than 50 bioprocessing sites. And the third is that Iowa is a center of academic research into biochemicals. To learn more about why Iowa is the best place for biochemical production, visit iowaeconomicdevelopment.com/bioproducts. On October 10th, U.S. EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt officially began the process to repeal the Clean Power Plan. In a notice of proposed rulemaking to repeal the Obama-era regulation, the EPA argued that the Clean Power Plan exceeds the agency's statutory authority and states that repealing the plan will facilitate the development of U.S. energy resources while reducing unnecessary regulatory burdens. The EPA finalized rules for the Clean Power Plan in August of 2015. Since that time, the rule has been repeatedly challenged in the courts. Although the EPA had indicated that many biomass sources could play a positive role in achieving emissions reductions under the Clean Power Plan, the treatment of biomass under the program has not been finalized. After years of work, the EPA's Biogenic Carbon Emissions Scientific Advisory Board has yet to come to a conclusion on how to accurately account for biogenic emissions. Commenting on the EPA's proposed repeal of the Clean Power Plan, Bob Cleaves, president of the Biomass Power Association, called on the federal government to provide clarity on the carbon benefits of using organic fuels to generate power. A 60-day comment period on the Clean Power Plan's repeal is set to open soon, following publication of the proposed rule in the Federal Register. Work is progressing on the development of a national woodchip heating fuel standard for the U.S. A revised draft of the proposed standard is now open for stakeholder feedback and comment. In January, the Project Advisory Committee proposed to make revisions to the existing international standard ISO 17225-4 rather than develop a completely new standard for the U.S. market. A draft of the standard was circulated for stakeholder comment in July. The proposed standard has been revised to reflect that feedback, and the nearly revised standard is now open for public comment through December 4th. Comments and feedback are limited to recent proposed changes. Those interested in reviewing the revised standard are asked to contact the American Society of Agricultural and Biological Engineers. The project to develop the standard is coordinated by the Biomass Energy Resource Center, the ASABE, the Biomass Thermal Energy Council, and Innovative Natural Resource Solutions, LLC. Funding for the project has been provided by the USDA Forest Service. In the UK, the government has released its Clean Growth Strategy, which aims to cut carbon emissions while driving economic growth. The plan sets out how more than £2.5 billion will be invested to support low-carbon innovation from 2015 to 2021. It includes increased public spending, research, and innovation, and covers programs delivering low-carbon energy, transport, agriculture, and waste. Within the 165-page plan, the government indicates its plans to end the sale of all new conventional petrol and diesel cars and vans by 2040, phase out the use of unabated coal to produce electricity by 2025, and develop new offshore wind and nuclear energy projects. The Clean Growth Strategy also discusses the long-term potential of bioenergy projects paired with carbon capture and storage. As part of its announcement, the government also confirmed up to £557 million to support less established renewable electricity projects during the next Contracts for Difference auction, which is planned for the spring of 2019. Dedicated biomass with combined heat and power and anaerobic digestion with or without combined heat and power are among technologies categorized as less established under CFD regulations. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with more of the biomass industry's top stories.